Hi, it's Thomas D here, broadcast journalist for Gasworld. I've been joined by Rob Cockerill, our content director, to go through his Q2 editor's pick. So Rob, thanks for joining me today to go over this last quarter.
A pleasure as always.
So your first pick, it's all about Messer and a big shake-up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it feels like so long ago since this story broke. I think it was mid to late April, but yeah, how could I not choose this in my picks for Q2? Stefan Messer stepping back into a chairman role, having been CEO for so long. I had to choose this. It's one of the stories of the year, I think, and in many respects, I think Stefan Messer's leadership of the Messer Group over the last almost 20 years has been probably one of the stories of that 20 years. He rebuilt the business in 2004 and has just taken it on some huge leaps forward ever since, not least probably in the middle of the last decade when the whole Praxair-Linde merger happened, that mega merger of equals, and Stefan and the rest of the Messer team took that leap to pick up some of those divested assets, completed the circle, as we wrote at the time, by going back into the Americas market. So yeah, I think he described that in an interview with me actually as one of the biggest decisions he'd ever made in his career and his life, and what a great decision it proved to be. Look at Messer today.
Absolutely. And what sort of impact or waves do you think this will cause across the Messer Group or indeed the industry?
I don't think it will cause a wave or an impact. I think they've got a very solid leadership team there, and you could see for some time that something was going to happen soon, I think. I mean, it's probably no big secret, Stefan Messer's own age and time in life where he'd want to take it back a bit. We saw Bernd Ulitz come into the management team, and he's now taken over as CEO. So you could kind of see some of those things on the horizon, shall we say. I think the only other thing I'd add to that is Stefan Messer's always been such a warm, friendly, almost a thoroughly good human, so that's probably the thing we'll miss, if you like, if we see him less and less. But all those values just go throughout Messer now thanks to him, so I don't think there'll be a big impact. Absolutely,
and a great career. On to your second pick, we'd turn to Air Products here and them investing $15 million in first mover energy transition projects through 2027.
Yeah, I think it's 15 billion, so that's why I had to make it a Q2 pick. Yeah, I think this is a really important story because, I mean, look, huge sum of money, and over the next, 4 years, say, 4 or 5 years, that's a huge investment portfolio over that time, and it's really what the story represents. If you look at sustainability, decarbonisation in the industry, we know that's one of the big topics, one of the big drivers. We talk about it all the time at Gasworld and on Gasworld TV. I think, look at NEOM. Air Products is involved in that huge mega project in Saudi Arabia, and that's around green hydrogen. I think it's still correct, its largest ever single investment in the US is a low carbon or blue hydrogen project. You know, these are signs of what Air Products is already doing, and then think we've just heard about 15 billion pounds to be invested over the next 3 or 4 years in such projects as well. So it's just a sign of what's to come.
Absolutely. And your third and final pick, sticking with Air Products, they're going to acquire a $1 billion industrial gas complex in Uzbekistan.
Yeah. I chose this one because it's a little bit left field. Again, that's a huge sum in a project, $1 billion. I think this is a project involving 2 ASUs, 2 ATRs, or also thermal reformer units, and a hydrogen plant, I believe. From what I remember of this story, the offtake agreement's already been done for all of the product. It's going with the client that's also providing the utilities, so it's quite a closed loop project, if you like. And I understand that all of that will stay domestically, but there's a hint of the export potential. I just think it's, like I said, a huge project in terms of the ambition of it and the actual sums involved. And then if you look at the potential export element of that in the years ahead with syngas and hydrogen and air gases, of course, quite an interesting project. And I believe, I was looking at some of our business intelligence research at the time that this came out. I think in Uzbekistan, we're looking at a $57 million market in 2022, which we'd expect to grow as a result of this. general manufacturing and healthcare were the two biggest end user markets. I think that's interesting because we could see that shift over time. There's a hint here with the gases involved and the scale of the project. We could start to see these markets moving, and again, maybe it's another sign of the decarbonisation and energy movement that our industry is moving in.
Sure, very interesting stuff and very interesting pick. Thank you once again for sitting down with me at the
Thanks,
end
Tom.
of Q2. We'll no doubt be back here in 3 months' time and see what those 3 months
Yeah,
hold for
absolutely.
us.
Let's see what we've got in store.
And in the meantime, you can visit gasworld.com to stay across the latest industrial gas news.